We are on the cusp of this mental health and substance use tsunami. I think right now, unfortunately, we're probably just seeing the tip of the iceberg. I think, again, as unemployment continues, as uncertainty for families continues, we're probably going to continue to have significant struggles in this area.
All possible triggers, and studies have shown the rise in substance use over the course of the pandemic, which for some could and has turned into misuse. But for people already working to combat their addictions, their battle to overcome has truly been tested, as community and consistent accountability are key in recovery.
I think people who are already in recovery are definitely facing unusual circumstances. Recovery is all about connections, and you could say with COVID, a lot of people have lost those connections. And I definitely think, too, for people who have their day in, day out routine kind of flipped upside down, that has created, again, some unique challenges. You've got people who are isolating more often, people who are unemployed, just disengaged from their day-to-day life and their social groups.
At Wedgwood Christian Services, they have seen a significant demand for substance use-specific treatment services, and they have been working hard to provide as much normalcy as possible.
And I think, again, one of the variables there, too, is, for a while, everything was shut down. So even though we remained with services, a lot of the transitions had to go online. So telehealth or teletherapy, that creates another obstacle. Even though the technology is a great tool and resource, it's also not always great for accountability. And a lot of the people in recovery really benefit from these face-to-face groups, whether it be intensive outpatient or other types of community groups where that peer-to-peer support is very crucial.
That's why education is key. Staying well-informed, connected, and being aware of how the people around you are acting. Some signs of a substance use relapse can include poor eating or sleeping habits, talking to past friends who still use, bottling up emotions, constantly lying, and even declining hygiene.
If you have a family member, a friend, or a loved one, and either you're starting to see some signs and symptoms of isolation or loneliness, again, just socially disconnecting and doing things that perhaps are excessive in nature, out of the norm for them. That's a time when you can offer alternatives, And like you said, holding them accountable is huge. One of the reasons why a lot of people in ongoing recovery will talk about took them so long to get there will be because people who cared for them enabled them. So sometimes people have a hard time kind of threading the needle between support and then enabling them.
So what can you do? Create a safe and healthy environment at home, creating opportunities for open and honest communication and listening, standing firm and holding them accountable while still offering encouragement and optimism, and of course, encouraging them to continue treatment.
I think it's a big community collaboration. One thing that we've experienced is definitely there's been an uptick in requests for services, and sometimes we may not be able to meet the entire needs. There's a lot of gaps in services across the board for mental health and for substance use disorder services. So I think being able for us to collaborate with other community partners, community programs, it really is a collective effort if we're really going to properly address this.